today we're going to be making an outboard stand. Picture, actually, let me show you guys. I've seen a lot of boat guys have metal carts that are worth about $100 in stores, and they have wheels and stuff. But if you're just going to be tinkering like I am on your outboard personally, you don't really need to have a cart per se. You can make a rack like this. This is made out of two 36-inch long 4x4s. They're pressure treated. These are reclaimed from when we removed the previous wooden fence that we used to have. So I kept a couple of 4x4s. This piece here is a 2x10. I made a little ottoman type bench for the fire ring. This was left over, so I want to say this is 18 inches of 2x10. The only thing I did spend some money on was some 2x4s, which are right now about $4 a pop at my local hardware store, and some screws. So it's not like I'm spending a lot of money to make these. The length of the legs going forward are 24 inches. The cross member in the front, the runner, is 21 inches. And then, of course, the back runner here is another 18 inches to match the top. So that's what we'll be making today. And we'll be making the second one of these. I have, like I was going to explain before, I got rid of the 18 horse Mercury. I sold it for $600 on Saturday. I met up with a dude locally here on Sunday, and I bought his 15 for $390. I went out of town to visit a friend of mine. I looked online. There was a 20 horse Mercury for $150. That was too much of a great deal for me to pass up, so I went ahead and picked it up. That's a restoration project. That's a 48. It's 1971, so it'll be what, a 48-year-old outboard. Yeah, 48-year-old outboard that I'll be restoring. So it's gonna be like a crime of passion, because I'm gonna try to fix it up as best as possible, and I'm gonna bring you guys along with it, because I'm not gonna spend beaucoup bucks on buying everything new. Some of the parts that are available used, I will buy used. I'll show you guys where I got them from. It'll probably be eBay, OfferUp, or Let Go. Whichever I find it, however I find it, hopefully I can get everything put together by the end of the year, preferably before my birthday, which is in late September. Okay, so let's get going with the outboard rack build. And luckily for you guys, I pre-cut everything, and I have a working proof of concept, so this is just a replication of what I already did. So like I said before, excuse the glare. I'm trying to put you guys in a way that the sun doesn't hit my face straight on, and as it isn't working. So first things first, you're going to get your two 36-inch pieces of 4x4. You're going to look for the flat sides. That's pretty much flat. That's flat. That's still a little wobbly. That's a little flatter. So that's going to be the front. Here comes another airplane. It's Florida. Shut down. It's quite simple. You just take one screw and you butt the edges up, and then they will be plumb or square. If you were that kind of guy and you're pretty much set in your ways, you have to have it that way. You can. Oh Christ. One screw here, it's flat against both opposing edges. Move this out, bring the next side over, and basically rinse and repeat. And then do the same thing to the opposite side. 2 additional screws per vertical support. Come on. Yes. I agree, I should have pre-drilled the holes. I didn't think that far ahead. I really think that far ahead. Come on. Okay. And then 2 in the center. Unless you have a perfect memory or you remember what you did with things, I would suggest writing down the length of the board that you're going to be working with, because there's only 3 inches between 18 and 21 and 3 inches between 21 and 24. And when I first put the first one together, I messed up and put the 21-inch piece as one of the legs. That didn't come out right. So now I'm going to go do a 180 on the boards, and then repeat the process on the back side. Alright. This is not meant to be a permanent solution, it's meant to be a DIY project. Excuse me. It's meant to be a tool that you're going to use and beat up and paint, and it's not meant to be pretty. You know, a lot of guys out there are like, well, why don't you just use pressure treated wood? That would require me going back to the store. I had the 2x4s. I had the 4x4s. I had everything on hand, and as of May 6th, 2020, we're still under a quarantine. So I was thinking about the best way to get this stuff done without breaking the bank. And without having to leave the house, which I haven't had to do. Okay, so that was the first half of the equation. The next half is going to do with making the next frame, which is going to be butt joints between the 21-inch piece and the two 24-inch pieces. But so I don't do that again with stripping out a screw hole, what I'm going to do is pre-drill the edges about 3/4 of an inch from the edge until the screw perforates the other side, and go back it out. And the same thing about an inch or so down from the first screw, just so that it breaches and just bring it back. And this is what I'm talking about. The 2 holes. I'm going to leave the next 2 screws proud so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. It's proud. And here. Okay, so these screws are proud. See, they're out of the 2x4s, and these are returned back, so you're not hurting yourself. Technically, you should not hurt yourself. This is a no-brainer kind of project. Hopefully. I mean, I'm kind of dumb sometimes. So back this out a little bit. Make sure these are flush to the edge, flush to the top. Drive them home. Okay. So I'm gonna do that without having my back to you guys. That's heavy. One arm. Alright. Now comes the pseudo interesting part. The two 24-inch pieces of corner bait racing that I made previous to the video. We're going to bring up the frame that we made before and just slide it into place, like so. And rotate the camera, you're back. I'm going to take 2 screws, one on either side of the legs, and start with the one at the middle to butt up against the rear brace. And then 2 into the 4x4. So. One. And 2. Okay. Now on the opposite side, I'll do the same thing. One at the end, 2 into the post. Sit there. And 2 going into the post, 4x4 post. Okay, so now we have essentially a frame. Not necessarily square frame, but frame. Intersecting a different frame. So what I like to do now is take a screw and going from the top side down, drive it down, and then when it becomes proud, leave it proud maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Come on. Too much. Right, just enough for it to catch the top edge here. Do the same thing on the opposite one. Okay, just proud. Alright, so what we're going to do now is brace this side to here, eyeball it, make sure the brace is somewhat flush to the outer edge of the 4x4. Would have been great if I thought about this before I did it. Which is pre-drilled and screwed. So let's do that now. Pre-drill the screws. Okay. going to take these screws that I've pre-drilled and left somewhat proud on the opposite side, and we're going to hold them in place. So that way, as we're screwing, they don't shift out of place. So I'm on the top one. Okay. And meet the bottom anchor point. Then screw in the bottom two over here. And I take an additional screw, and now we're going to go vertically, or as vertical as I can get it. Alright, so let's rinse, repeat into the opposite side. Alright, it's almost done. Woo! That is a hot day today. And it's late when I came out here. It's already 5, so the sun is on at its peak. It's already setting. So that's tied in. That's tied in. Let's go ahead and screw in the first screw. Okay. Bring this down. Screw that one in. Screw these last two on this side. And the last one, the nail in the coffin, if you will. Okay. Okay, so this is basically it. The stand is done. You can paint it a base color, a primer if you wish. You can take some spray lacquer or any kind of wood sealer and seal it, because to be outside you want it sealed. These are going to be going next to where the boat is now, and supporting the one of these is for the 20 horse outboard I told you about. The other one is for the 18 or the 15 horse Mariner that I have on the boat now. If you were going to make these using wood at your local hardware store using May 2020 pricing at Lowe's, because I was looking at this up earlier, 2x4 is about $3 and 50 some odd cents plus tax, closer to $3 and $3.75, about $3.80 or so. You're going to need 2 of them. The 4x4, the pressure treated 4x4 runs about $10, so $11 with tax, give or take. So we're looking at $15 so far $18 so far between 2x4s and the 4x4. The 2x10 is the 2x10 by 8 foot is roughly $15 by itself. So you're looking at $30 of wood and maybe another. Let's be a little conservative. A 3-inch box of drywall screws runs about $8 to $10. Let's go $10. So for about $40 in materials, you can build 2 of these. Actually, no, yeah, two of these, because the 2x10 runs 8 foot and you need 18 inches. You can get an additional 4x4 in your area, hopefully for less than $10. And then the additional 2x4, you can pretty much make these for about $25–30 out of pocket cost. But like I said before, I already had all this material, so it's not costing you a penny to make them. Just a little bit of sweat equity and some know-how. Thank you guys for watching Leo Builds It. I hope you guys comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching.